All right, this is Victor Jerome Morrow with Rashad Mitchell here, and Rashad Mitchell is releasing this book, or he just released this book, "The 50 Most Underrated Quarterbacks." Now that's a hot button topic. That's something that people can argue about all day long, um, and and I've gotten into many of arguments. About that subject, who the greatest quarterbacks are, and even who the most underrated quarterbacks are. Um, Rashad, I'm gonna let you go ahead and give a shout out, and you can plug anything you want to plug at the moment. You there, Rashad?
Yeah.
Yeah, anything
Hey,
that yeah.
well, yeah, my name is Rashad Mitchell. I'm Patterson, New Jersey. I'm a self-published author of 32 books, and yeah, I have a book out called the Top 50 Underrated NFL Quarterbacks, and it's a very interesting book. There's been a lot of great quarterbacks that we all know and recognize and respect, like Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, even people today, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. But I wanted to focus on the underrated quarterbacks that never got this, just due in a sense. So this book is on Amazon.com. Check it out if you love it. Those are listening right now. I'm just here to discuss the book and hopefully people will learn something.
That's cool. That's cool. And I have to say my one of the quarterbacks I think is underrated in a sense is I think it's Eli. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Giants fan, but I always kind of saw it like people put Peyton over him. But if you compare in the playoffs what Eli does and what Peyton does, it's a big difference. Do you when you say underrated, um, are you talking stats? Are you talking clutch factor, things of that nature?
Well, I include stats that they put up on what they, this is performance in general and what
Hmm.
they did as a quarterback at during their time. So yeah, definitely you gotta include the numbers because that's what stands out. The numbers and their performance.
What's a quarterback that you can think of off the top of your head? And that's not necessarily the most underrated, but off the top of your head, man, give me a quarterback that you feel like is just completely overrated or has been overrated throughout time.
Oh, you want to go? Want me to go back to the book, or you just want me to stay away from the book, or just
Either or, whatever quarterback comes to mind.
okay? I'm gonna go to the book. See, I'll go with Phil Simms.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, Phil Simms because he played the greatest game ever in the Super Bowl. He
You,
completed 88% of his passes. He was a tough guy. He was durable. He was clutch. He could make a clutch throw. Whether it was to Bavaro or it was a game against Minnesota back in '86. Even when they won the first Super Bowl, he threw a pass to Bobby Johnson on fourth down and 17 against the Minnesota Vikings during the '86 season in
right.
Minnesota. So he was a clutch quarterback and given credit for. So
You,
yeah,
no, I was gonna say I gotta agree with that one. That's a really good one that I didn't even think of myself. Yeah,
yeah, he
that's.
was a
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, he's almost like the definition of underrated. Um, he Like you said, that he had the greatest game in the Super Bowl. Um, a lot of people wouldn't pull his name up if you would have asked people like who played the best game in the Super Bowl as a quarterback. I don't think a lot of people will pull that name up. You know.
Yeah, they're focused on Montana or Brady, and they've had great games, but I don't think they played better than Sims for like a total game. He completed 22 out of 25, 88% of his passes was completed, 88%. And it was, I think, 268 yards and he threw 3 touchdowns to Lavaro, Zeke Mowat, and Phil McConkey. So this guy, was perfect. He was close to perfect against the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 21. So I think, yeah, he definitely is underrated because of that performance. I think he's underrated. I don't think it gets enough credit for what he did. And plus, he won a couple of Super Bowls. Now, he didn't play in Super Bowl 25. He was hurt.
That's right.
But he did lead him to like a 10-0 start during that year. He's efficient. He had his struggles early in his career, but as time went on, he got better and better. And, yeah, he should be considered a Hall of Famer. But, yeah, he threw 199 touchdown passes. Obviously, that's not comparable to today's quarterbacks. So they can throw most of these quarterbacks right now. They got over 300, career touchdown passes. But back then it was just different because the Giants basically they ran the ball.
That's right.
And it's been Rodney Hampton and Joe Moore. So, but I think Sims should definitely be considered Hall of Fame.
Agreed, and that's a problem that I think a lot of people have is they don't understand errors. And back in the day, especially with the NFC East, it was run, run, run.
Yeah.
And you had the Redskins with the Hogs, and they ran the ball down your throat. And like you said, they had Rodney Hampton, and the Giants was also known for their defense. Right, and Carl Banks and also the coach was somewhat of a I don't want to use the word diva, but he was almost as popular as the players were. Bill Park.
Yeah, Parcells like a power. He's into power football, run with power, offensive linemen, and having the backs run behind the line. Yeah, he wanted Phil Sims to do great, but I just think that the way they did things was just boot collar, and it wasn't flashy, but it was, Sims had to do his thing in order for the Giants to win. But yeah, he was overshadowed obviously by Lon Selleck. Lon Selleck, probably the greatest defensive player ever. He changed the game. I mean, this guy made the Washington Redskins develop a position, the H-back position, and had guys, double team him and all that.
Yeah, man. That's And speaking of the Redskins, what do you think about Joe Theismann? You think he's?
I have one of this. I have a few quarterbacks from the Redskins on the list. Mark Rippon.
Oh wow, you think Rippon's overrated? I mean underrated. Excuse me, underrated.
Yeah, I think so. The thing that made him really good was he could throw that deep ball down the field. Was the guy Clark, Ricky Sanders, or Art Monk. Yeah, Mark Rippon. Yeah, I have him on the list. I have Sonny Jurgensen.
Okay.
On the list.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Doug Williams.
Yeah.
His performance was underappreciated. Yes, he was the first black quarterback to play in the Super Bowl. Look what he did in the Super Bowl. This guy set records. He threw for 340 yards. That was a record.
Yeah. They focused more on him being the first black quarterback than they did on what he actually, was able to accomplish.
Yeah, and plus he was the first player in Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl, pass for 4 touchdowns in a single quarter and 4.5. So he did a lot as a Super Bowl MVP to do stuff like that. So Doug Williams, Joe Theismann, I have Sonny Jurgensen, Mark Rippon, I have those are quarterbacks from the Redskins I have on the list. I think they deserve to be on the list because of what they accomplished. They accomplished a lot. I think definitely got some representation from the Redskins. I think they deserve some too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Redskin quarterbacks seem to go, they tend to fly under the radar.
Yeah.
The most hyped one was RG3 that I can remember for some time, because usually Redskin quarterbacks just, they're just not. I don't know. This It's just different I guess in the NFC East than it is in other places. Um, would you? Let me see. Would you consider? Is there a big name quarterback that you still think is, even though he's big name, maybe underrated?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna give you two people in the top five. I got Troy Aikman,
Oh wow.
Bradshaw. Yeah, Terry Bradshaw and Troy Aikman, because they had great teams around them. When you have great players around you, your production, your performance gets overshadowed. I think Troy Aikman definitely fixed that category. He only threw I think 165 touchdowns. He had Emmitt Smith, all-time leading rusher. He had probably the greatest offensive line of all time. Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper. He had a great, pretty good defense with Charles Haley and Deion Sanders. If
Yep.
you have all this pocket talent, all these all pros, it will overshadow your performance, the performance of the quarterback. Terry Bradshaw too. I think of the Steelers of the '70s. What comes to my mind is the defense. Still Kirk, not Terry Bradshaw, because he was like a poor man's Brett Favre, because he was a gunslinger. He was 212 touchdowns, but he threw a lot of interceptions
Right.
on Brett Favre. So it gets overshadowed to me because of the team that he played with. He had Vince Swan, Starwork. He made them Hall of Famers. Megan Kingston, Franco Harris, and Rocky Blyer. They had the great defense with Mean Joe Green,
Right.
Greenwood, and Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, Mel Blunt. He had Hall of Famers galore on both sides.
Right.
So all that stuff overshadowed what Terry Bradshaw produced. Now he did great things in the clutch, but I think he's underrated. Because you're never gonna hear his name, Terry Bradshaw, hear Troy Aikman's name. When you talk about the greatest of all time at the quarterback position, their names I don't know stand out just because of who they played with.
Okay. I had um I had another one. Um, I had another one in mind. That was Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, I got him on the list. Randall Cunningham.
Yeah,
Before Cam Newton.
yeah, that's right. You're absolutely correct. He was, to me, he was underrated, and also, what do you think, Warren Moon?
Repeat that again.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moore, I got him on the list.
Yeah.
Warren Moore.
Now he had to go up to Canada just to prove himself to the NFL.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's crazy to me, because I mean, it was just amazing. I don't know if you're familiar with the story or not, but they basically said that he wasn't good enough to. They basically said he wasn't. He said he wasn't good enough to play in the NFL, and he went into Canada and just kicked everybody's behind, and then the NFL finally, ended up going to what was it, Houston. Um, Another one that I feel like he's somewhat of a big name as of recent times, and that's Kurt Warner. What do you think about him? Underrated, overrated, or just right?
I didn't put him on the list, Kurt Warner,
Yeah.
because I think people knew what he was about. Matter of fact, he played in his performances in the Super Bowl are the greatest ever. He threw 414 yards against Tennessee in Super Bowl 34. He played pretty well against Patriots when they lost that one.
Right.
The one that he lost in 2008 to the Steelers, he played great.
Yeah.
I think people know who Kurt Warner is in terms of his story, because this guy was, buying groceries.
Right.
And being where he was, like that, feel good story, like rags to riches kind of story. So I don't think he's underrated at all. He had his ups and downs in his career. Like when he went to the Giants, he struggled, and then he, resurrected his career as a, Arizona Cardinal, led him to the Super Bowl. So I think people know what it is and what he's about. I think he up for the Hall of Fame this year. I think for the Hall of Fame induction, like who's gonna be involved is coming up next month, like during I think the day before the Super Bowl. So we'll see if he goes in to the Hall of Fame. I think he's a finalist, I think. I'm sure. I don't think he's underrated. No.
No. Now that's his is kind of up for debate. Some people might say they got him just right. I would say he may be a little underrated for this reason. I'm gonna tell you why. As great as he is, if he could have won those two other Super Bowls, could you imagine where he would be on that list? Not the most underrated list, but of top quarterbacks of all time. And his performance equaled, the greatest of all time. Period. But
Warner?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Kurt Warner played big in the Super Bowls.
yeah,
The Super Bowls that he was in, he's won two, but those performances was the greatest ever for a quarterback. Yeah, if you won three out of three and oh, man, yeah, he'd be looked at even bigger. But due to the fact that he lost two Super Bowls out of three appearances that he was in, and he only won that one Super Bowl,
right,
his place in history would be looked at differently, no doubt about it. Again, it's all about winning Super Bowls, man. When you win a whole lot, your stature goes up higher. I think that his stature is not high as it should be. But again, he can't, not his fault. Man. He definitely put his teams that he played for in positions to be successful. And that's the beautiful thing about Kurt Warner, is that he's not to blame for them losing those Super Bowls. I mean, he played his best at the best time to do it. Just that defense, you blame that. Yeah, you can definitely blame the defenses because they brought it in Super Bowl was 36 against the Patriots. The game was tied at 17-17, and they let Tom Brady at the time, like a novice in a sense, Coon comes down the field and sets up a field goal for Anna Terry to hit it, the field goal, and they win the Super Bowl. And then you have also against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Robinson throws the greatest throw you can ever see.
yeah,
From your homes, you made it one of the greatest catches ever. But the toe, the footwork, keeping his foot 6 feet in bounds. If that doesn't happen, then you're Super Bowl champion. So when you look at it, the defenses Arizona Cardinals plus the St. Louis Rams defense, they didn't do their job.
Okay.
They didn't make the stops. They would have did that, no question. Kurt Warner had 2 more Super Bowls and he had a total of 3. So, Kurt Warner, he had no reason to feel bad about himself, like, as far as his placement in NFL, because he did his part. He did his job to be considered one of the great quarterbacks. I think he's a great quarterback, but I think you're right. Like, if he would have won those 2 more Super Bowls, then he would have 3.
Right.
The defenses didn't get the job done.
Right. So as an individual quarterback, I kind of look at him like he was just about there. Like he fell just short, and it wasn't really his fault. Now I'm gonna give you a chance to go ahead and plug your book again.
Okay, my book is the top 50 underrated NFL quarterbacks. It's very exciting, action-packed. And book helps you love history. You want to know about quarterbacks that didn't get their just due, in my opinion. And I make the case for it in this book. Top 50 quarterbacks I felt were underrated, didn't get their love, and they just due for what they did. To show that, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are not up there or celebrated as they should be, but they should be considered up there in a sense. So you can go cop it, go look at it, take it, buy it if you like it. Go to Amazon.com and support. I have, you want to follow me on Facebook, Rashad Mitchell, also Rashad Mitchell's books. You want to follow me on that, and also I write for a magazine called Java School. Media Group Magazine. That's the Facebook page right there. So you want to support the magazine, you go to gmgmagazine.weebly.com. That's WEEBLY.com. gmgmagazine.weebly.com. If you want to take a look at the magazine. Other than that, I'm happy to be on your show. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate when I got the email, just to give people a little bit of insight of what happened. When I got the email, I saw the title of the book. I said, "Yeah, I got to do this. I got to do this interview." Um, that was right up my alley. Going into the top 50 most underrated quarterbacks. We got a little bit of time here. I'm gonna ask you off top, playing right now. We're doing a lot of past quarterbacks from the past. Name someone that you feel is underrated, a quarterback that's underrated in today's time that's still playing.
Oh, quarterbacks that are underrated today?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. Let's see. You know what? Who's underrated? Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Really underrated because he has a great deep ball and he won the Super Bowl obviously with the Ravens, and he don't get a lot of attention. And think about this guy. This guy, he played. You talk about Eli Manning. This guy plays well in the playoffs too. Like,
yeah,
he's been in the playoffs a lot, and he was in the playoffs this year. I think he got hurt. And,
that's right.
And yeah, the Ravens didn't make it obviously because Flacco got hurt. So it was strange. It's strange that you see the landscape of the playoffs right now, that there's no Baltimore Ravens in the playoff game. They used to be in the playoffs every single year.
That's right.
Because of Flacco and the coach, Harbaugh. He's a good big time coach too. I think his name's John Harbaugh.
Right.
Brother, yeah, John Harbaugh. Yeah, so when you look at Joe Flacco, this guy definitely the example of underrated quarterback. So I had to choose somebody today that's underrated as quarterback and beat Joe Flacco, because I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's done in his career, especially in the playoffs. I mean, this guy doesn't lose that much. Only lost, but I gotta look it up. But this guy's been in the playoffs a lot.
Oh,
His rookie year.
yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. He doesn't lose too much, and people forget he did win only the one Super Bowl, but he took them to the AFC Championship game just that year before. So he doesn't just take the Ravens into the playoffs. He often takes them deep into the playoffs. So yeah, I gotta agree. I would put Flacco definitely in my top three. I'm gonna tell you somebody. We got about 5 minutes. I'm gonna tell you somebody that I think is really underrated, and it might surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Roethlisberger. Now they're gonna say
Yeah.
a lot of people say, how is he underrated? But you think about it, he was one of the top notch, most talked about quarterbacks when he first came into the league. As time went on, the media is sort of like forgetting about him.
Yeah.
He won. Yeah,
They didn't put up the numbers until now. Now he's like lighting it up because of Antonio Brown. Fortunately, he's not playing tomorrow. He got the concussion, Antonio Brown. So Rodgers going to find a way to get the ball to the other receivers. But you're absolutely right. I think he is underrated because he didn't put up the numbers that Brady or Manning
that's right.
put up on Drew Brees.
Yeah,
Put up.
yeah, because
You starting to put it up now because again they opening the offense up. They got Antonio Brown and got what it was Martavius Bryant and Wheaton. And they got receivers, got tight end Heath Miller, but Antonio Brown's made the difference. So again, it's going to be a tough task for them to go into Denver. I still think they can pull it out because I don't trust Peyton Manning in a home field situation because most time he always loses in the postseason at home anyway.
that's what I was about to ask you right before we go. Right, um, I'm gonna get your Super Bowl prediction or your playoff prediction right quick.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stay with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh gonna pull it out despite they don't have Antonio Brown, they don't have the Angelo Williams. They're gonna pull it out. I just think one way or another look about Cook. Another thing too that's overlooked, the defense of the Steelers played great last week.
Yeah.
I think they can do the same thing against the Broncos. I mean, why not? And but I just don't trust Peyton Manning at home. Today's games, I love the New England Patriots. They're so consistent. They're gonna find a way. I gotta take Brady over Alex Smith any day. I mean, I think the Chiefs had their fun, and I think they're gonna lose today. They're gonna lose today. I love Arizona big time over Green Bay.
Ooh.
Green Bay because they beat a Washington team that just was a product of the NFC East being so bad. They're not beating the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a team that's on a mission. I think they're going to handle business. And then Seattle, I think they will beat Carolina. In Carolina, I think they had the experience. Defense playing good. And they were lucky to win last week.
Mm-hmm.
No way around it. That field goal should have been made. But again, it's a pressure. They got to spread March. But I think they'll play better. But it would be obviously much different this time around. I'm quite sure of it. I just think Seattle going to do more. I think Russell Wilson's ability to get out of the pocket, find a way to make a play. The defense, that combination will make a difference. And I think overall, the Patriots will play Pittsburgh. I think the Patriots go to the Super Bowl. I just think obviously Pittsburgh, they don't play well against the Patriots anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So historically, when you look at the history, and then when you look at the NFC, Seattle, Arizona, I love Arizona. Beat Seattle. I think Carson Palmer and they where they play offense, they attack the field. They go down the field. They don't play conservative. They go down the field, throw the ball. They don't play conservative, and they got the pass rush. Also, the right
10 seconds. Who you got? Super Bowl.
Yeah, I got Arizona going to Super Bowl to play the Patriots, and I'd say